On the agenda, we have one amendment, and that's the restricted spending request wasn't originally put on, and we have quite a few of them. So let's go ahead and add that to the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the agenda with the amendments as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. First item of business.
Chantel Lou with Indigent Services. The first case that we have for you today is case number 2020-0240. This applicant appears to meet all Idaho Code criteria to be eligible for assistance through the indigent program. This case was submitted to Idaho Medical Review, which states that all of the applied for services are considered medically necessary for the purposes of payment as defined in statute. The total estimated charges for this case are $360,000. The applicant is unable to make a 5-year payment and has no other resources available for this request, and has committed to a $50 a month repayment plan upon approval of this application. The next case that we have for you is case number 2020-0243. This application was submitted for cremation expenses through Manning Wheatley Funeral Home in the amount of $1,200. The deceased was a 63-year-old male residing by himself at the time of death, is a Bannock County resident, and was not a veteran. With all of the information that we were able to obtain, it does appear that the deceased does meet criteria to be eligible for assistance through the indigent program. There were no responsible parties or family members located for reimbursement of this request. Our recommendation is an approval of this application at this time.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve case number 2020-0240 and 0243.
Have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Shanda.
Good morning, Commissioner. Shanda Crystal, Richfield. We are before the board today, asking for permission to order next fiscal year's vehicles for the sheriff and jail. So the reason why we are here with the request to order is because the ordering date opened last Thursday, and they're going to have a very short turnaround. And they don't know exactly when, chances are sometime next week or close them. Our worry is if we wait till next week to order these vehicles, that we will be in the tail end of the ordering line. And if it's anything like this year the 3 major manufacturers are canceling 1 million vehicles. And we don't want to be anywhere near that cancellation industry. We talked with legal, Brian said he's going to hear me. We discussed legal, we talked with Bannock about what are the possibilities, right? That if we order these vehicles and everything goes sideways, and we don't appropriate funds, and we cancel the orders. And they are very comfortable, given the vehicle for the sheriff has ordered, that they can find a home without any questions, even going to still have another home for these vehicles, because the market is just so short on new vehicles this year. And Brian, as he looked and reviewed, also felt very comfortable. We had a non-appropriate release clause in there. He was very comfortable with us being able to back out if we needed to. So this would at least hold our place under those vehicles orders.
And that we are just now picking up cars.
I was going to say, you're just barely getting the ones we ordered last year, right?
They just left this morning to get the last 4 cars. So, and we ordered them
Last year.
So, and they don't foresee this, they foresee this probably being problematic thing that they issue as far as the long term getting those cars in, so.
They give us a delivery where they will be anywhere between 6 months to 12 months.
Yeah. Sometime in the future.
So take your lunch and go home and wait.
No, I don't see any concerns there. I mean, you've dotted all the i's and crossed all the t's.
Yeah, legal's okay with it, so.
Definitely.
And there's nothing to sign. Tony's already spoken with Bannock, and they know exactly what it is they need. He'll give them the green light, and then they'll go ahead and order them upon approval.
So do we have a motion for that, or just, okay. Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the ordering of the vehicles for next year as requested.
The motion, all in favor, say aye.
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 Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How's everything else going?
Pretty good, just trying to find employees.
Good luck.
That is,
Man, we've got 2 in the making, but that's it. And we're still down 8, which is a complete shift in scale.
I have class starting this week, and I do have about a half, so probably 20, 25 cadets that are probably going to seek National Guard and Reserve commission. It'll probably take them 4 years. Some of them will graduate this year, some of them in 2 to 3 years. But I have, I think, 3 that want to be military police officers anyway. And so maybe what I'll do is I'll see if you guys got flyers and stuff, and I'll see if or emails. If you have a recruiting email, send it to me, and I'll send it out to all of my people up there, because there's a lot of them that end up, I think we had 4 that ended up getting law enforcement jobs after they graduated this last year. So,
It's interesting, because we even have people, there's rumor in the jail that some of our veteran guys looking for other opportunities as far as just getting out of the industry.
well, and the big thing too is
Scary.
a lot of them right now, they're paying such a high wage to go sit out at the site and check IDs, because you have to have a secret clearance, and everybody, a lot of them know if they want a job while they're going to school or something like that, and then moving to law enforcement, that would make it good. And it really would. For 3 to 4 or 5 years, you could have some good guys and gals.
We had Tri-County meetings with all the sheriffs in Southeast Idaho last Thursday, and even the small county, everyone's in the same boat.
There's a ISU hiring event. I saw.
Yeah, at the end of the month.
Yeah, you guys need to make sure you got a booth up there.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably, you get a lot of those guys that come in, guys and gals, and like I said, I worked security the whole time I was in college, and it's one of the, and I had 4 or 5 buddies that actually worked out at the jail, Joel, and those guys, and that's kind of if you can get them.
It's tough. I mean, every employer's in the same boat.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I'll just tell you that we got a call yesterday from the fair board, or from their representative, on that clown down at the fair wants to file for unemployment now.
Really?
Worked for Lee.
Wow.
He was a contractor then.
Yeah.
We know that.
But I just, people want to get on unemployment, that's so bad. I just, wow, are you kidding me?
Make sure when you get that notice to respond.
Yeah, I got it yesterday.
They're all clowns that are doing it.
And this was a substitute clown, is from what I understand. It wasn't even the one that was original
He's a
contract.
reserve clown.
Oh, I just-
How's that look on your resume?
People.
I was a reserve clown.
You're good enough to be a full-time class.
Yeah, the full-time clown had a death in the family, so we got
We
the
are getting those
substitute.
contracts and starting to get turned things down, so.
Cool.
Well, that worked out okay.
How's lab with them?
Actually, with the extra manpower that they put it it's actually been one of the better summers we've had, because number one, we put a lot of our guys on foot
Yeah.
there instead of just driving. We kind of
So I was
encourage them to stay on foot and kind of mingle.
a little amazed though. Was it last Saturday? I had a family reunion in Lava, and so I drive down Main Street, and I swear every single person had an open container. And I don't know, and I watched more people just throw them on the street. And that's the thing that absolutely just blows me away.
Well, and that's one of the areas in that new contract that Steve agreed to prosecute open containers to them.
No, that's something, I
I
mean,
think we'll probably curbs a lot of that once you start citing people.
And not being a law enforcement officer, I'm pretty sure most of them are underage. I mean, and that's where, you know, like I said, I get nervous about people getting drunk, getting in the river.
They grow me young in Utah.
Oh, yeah. 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 Well, and that was the other thing. They were all Utah license plates.
Oh, yeah.
I think I saw one 1B license plate on all of Main Street or something.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brought us right into time.
Perfect.
We're on.
My next.
Yep.
So Ryan Belknap, Bannock County Human Resources and Risk Management. And what I wanted to talk about, should be brief, is more procedure. I received up at Computer Services, they've got two network positions. They were both filled, and they were both at grade 15. And one of the employees resigned, and Adam was talking to me about replacing that position. And evaluating the needs of the department, he determined that rather than having two network administrators at the same level, he wanted one that was at grade 15 and to reclassify the other one down a grade to grade 14 and have it be just so there's a little bit of differentiation for his department. And my advice to him was to rewrite the position description to capture the essential functions of the job. And as he did that, and as I review it, it looks like, yeah, it makes sense, a 14 and a 15. And so I know a couple months ago we had a department do the opposite, where they were wanting to reclassify and go up a grade, and we had them wait till the beginning of the budget year to do that. In this, since it's saving us money rather than adding money on the budget, I was thinking that kind of wait wouldn't be necessary. We should probably be able to just put it right in. Christy and I talked about it. She agreed. And so I just want it for a more procedure way when we reclassify down a grade, we could make that effective immediately. And I was wanting your advice on that.
If it's a new hire, I see no problem with it. I mean,
Yeah. You're not changing
For a
anything.
vacant position.
they know when they are employed what it is.
Okay. So,
And if the department head is the one that initiates it, then
By all means.
we're not
Okay.
gonna argue with them.
great. That's what I was expecting. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page and we're good with that.
No. Appreciate Adam and all that he's doing there.
Yeah,
Yep.
Very effective. It's been real good.
great. That was it.
I don't even think there's a action on it. It's just let the department head do it, and we'll sign it when they come back on the salary. It's good fun.
Is that something you should put out in the memo, just so everybody knows that that's a policy, you're not worried about it?
Well, what,
It's easy.
I like that the department head comes and talks to you
Yeah.
and says, this is what I'd like to do. And you give them that instruction. Reclassify it. Let me look at it, because each one's gonna be a little bit different.
And
Well,
the job title will be different.
Well, we will, when they do reclassify the job descriptions, we will actually probably take a look at that when you're done with it. This is the new job description.
okay.
We do have a tendency that when there's a new job description that's made, we typically will ratify and approve. So when they're done and you're comfortable with where it looks and they're comfortable and they're ready to go, I'd say it just comes back for a quick yes. And then it's the formal, it is approved then into the budget, or that's what that position line item will be approved for in the kinds of levels. Even though it will still be in the budget as a higher level, must be amended before the budget gets here. But the budget will probably just stay where the budget is. But there'll be a little extra money in that line item this year, so it'll happen the next year, so.
And down the road, I am in progress of updating that section of the personnel policy where it talks about recruiting, classifying, appointing, that kind of stuff. So there will be something in here in a little bit that I want to present to you, and it'll capture that as well.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have ratified Bannock County fiscal year 2022 indigent defense. This is the one that you signed on.
Yeah,
That's the last minute.
yeah, the defense
Literally.
commission, yeah.
I did ask Dave if he would put me on that email so that I could follow up also,
Okay.
just to make sure, because
They didn't even send it to our office, they just sent
Well,
it.
Friday when Dave texted me and said, hey, have you seen that? Is it getting signed? And when I was in here, I happened to walk by Christie and say, hey, did that get signed today? And she said, what? So.
Well, and that was the problem, is
she
it got,
made some phone calls and you guys got it.
it got sent only to the three of us. And the problem is when you send something like that, typically, it always goes to our front office as well, because that's who handles to make sure, because I'm not gonna.
Well, and it was the deadline. It was,
Yeah, it was
this is
that.
due
I
tomorrow.
was like, oh,
Yeah.
That's what we got. We didn't get the contract or anything else on it. Oh, that's good. I appreciate you talking to Dave.
Well, and it's a grant, so only we have to do this now, just to make sure it's all right.
Thank you.
What we filled in is what we filled in.
yeah. Mr. Chairman, I move that we ratify the fiscal 2022 indigent defense financial assistance grant.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Next, we have resolution 2021-74. This is amended, approving July 2021 salaries.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the resolution as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Then we have resolution 2021-76, authorizing hiring special counsel.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the resolution as presented.
A motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Next, we have,
See how that turned out.
yeah, an amendment to master services agreement. We also have an agreement to provide law enforcement protection for Southeast Idaho Youth Football League. And they are charging them $55 an hour.
Good.
And public hearing notice for proposed fee increases.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the technologies service agreement, law enforcement through youth little league football, and proposed fee increase as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Under our consent agenda, we have liquor, or beer, wine liquor license, certificate of residency approval, salary rate approval forms, unrestricted spending request, and minute approval for meetings on August 12th, 13th, 16th, and 17th. How long does a person have to be a resident of Bannock County to get the 1 year? So I just looked at a lot of these, and I mean, they're high schools. We're not here. There's in a lot of different counties around us.
For high school, pretty much.
Where they graduated from high
Oh,
school.
Yeah,
And I just,
yeah, and,
But if they have a parent that lives there,
yeah, Carrie goes in and checks every single one of those before she sends them to you, and does due diligence to verify that they've been using it for at least a year. So, some are a little easier to distinguish than others. She came to me the other day because she had one that could show 18, 19, but they tended to move around a lot. And so she was having a hard time tracking down 1 year ago.
but you love that unfunded mandate from the state. Oh, but we give you liquor money. Yeah, but that's not how that works. That's okay.
well, I just, as I read through them, Interesting. Know the rules. They have to live by.
Well, if they pass this new spending bill, that might go away. Free junior college for everybody.
Oh, at the federal level?
That's what that, it's what's in that new infrastructure.
Oh,
bill.
geez.
Free junior
Oh.
college for
Oh.
everybody. Woohoo. Courtesy of you and me.
Oh, no, there's gonna be a clause in it unless it's paid for already by the state or local government. And then we'll still just keep that same with it.
And then I looked through the restricted spending request. Honestly, they all look good to me.
We should have like whole new buildings here in a few weeks, it looks like.
Everybody's gonna have new furnishings in their office. You walk down the hall,
Everybody's going nuts, man.
see all the,
No, this year I felt that they've actually done I think that a lot of them, this is what, the fourth year that we've done this, third year that we've done this. And it's really, I think there's been a lot better,
oh, I didn't like approve, man.
Oh, all right.
The ones that I questioned was the landfill.
uh-oh.
They're spending $5,500 to go to, for 3 people to go to training,
What is it?
but they bought one-way tickets. Out of Idaho Falls, one flies from Idaho Falls to Seattle, then back to Portland. And then the other one, when they come home, they fly from Portland to Salt Lake, back to Idaho Falls. On it, it says we did the best we could to get you the best prices for your flight. Would have been a lot cheaper to let them take the car and go to Salt Lake.
How much was it, fine? 55?
20,
Or is that-
the total was 55. It was 3,000, just under 3,000, I think, for the flight.
For all three
29
flights?
You could drive,
for all
you
3 of
could
them.
pay.
Well, you could
could all
have,
share a vehicle.
you could have drove to Salt Lake and flown
And they're-
straight out of Salt Lake to
Right.
Portland. And
Yeah.
The
I
point
bet
was
that price
travel
goes
time.
up because they're flying out of Idaho Falls.
Uh-huh.
About $100 or-
That's why we need to have, so DOD, when you fly to the military, to the Army, you have to take the lowest fare. If it's within a certain distance of driving, you have to drive. If it's outside of a certain distance, you have to fly. And if you choose, if it's outside of that distance, there is a time, they don't let you drive over 500 miles
it's
in a
just,
certain amount of time.
one that
We
they,
had in the past, I don't know if it's
They
actually
went
in the
to IT.
policy, we had talked about doing, so if someone chooses to, say, drive as opposed to fly, we will only pay you the cost of the flight if it's cheaper.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and then that way, someone
Yep.
could, if they wanted to be the person on the end,
Yep.
they could, but then it doesn't cost the county more.
Now, I have a thing that I tell you the truth, I prefer to have our employees fly
Yeah.
out of
yeah,
hotel
that's really
because of the liability of somebody going down that
Come on.
speed of a car accident.
come on up, they're to the right age.
And you're on the clock.
Yeah.
I'd rather
I
you
was
just,
excited too
And
when I read
sometimes
that
by
one.
the time you pay for parking,
well, and then by the time you come home,
yeah.
I don't know about you, but every time I've ever flown for, I'm usually flying in the Salt Lake or whatever at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I'm
We
coming
did that
back.
last flight.
And then,
Sucks if you miss it.
Yeah.
Done that a couple of times.
yep. Sat on the runway once in Salt Lake for 2 hours to fly 29 minutes. Could have been home before. Ready? For consent agenda? Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the consent agenda and restricted spending request presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. And with that being said, we are adjourned for the day.
Oh, hold on.
You guys are efficient.
Well, we're done, but I want you to read.